You wake up, you brush your teeth, you scroll your phone, your body moves through the morning routine, but your mind is completely detached. You are simply going through the motions. We all know the frustration. You go to bed promising that tomorrow will be different. You are going to wake up early, work out, and be productive. But when the alarm rings, that motivation vanishes, and you slide right back into the exact same routine. Why is it so difficult to follow through on the things we actually want to do? Why does your conscious desire to eat healthier or work harder constantly lose the battle to your old habits? Think of your mind like an iceberg. The tiny 10% tip visible above the water is your conscious mind, your active thoughts. But the massive 90% base hidden below represents your subconscious, dictating almost every choice you make, habit you form, and emotional reaction you have. When a bad habit holds firm despite your best efforts, you are witnessing the brain's biological autopilot overriding your active intentions. Your conscious mind is your brain's goal setter. It is highly intelligent and capable of complex logic. But active thinking is incredibly slow, and it burns through a massive amount of physical energy. To balance this out, you have the subconscious. This is the brain's high-speed database. It is dedicated solely to storing your learned behaviors, routines, and emotional responses, so they can be triggered instantly. From an evolutionary standpoint, your brain's primary job is to conserve energy. To do that, it is biologically programmed to take any task you repeat often enough and push it downward out of your conscious awareness and into automatic storage. Think back to the very first time you sat behind the wheel of a car. You actively thought about the pedals, checking the mirrors, gripping the steering, and the traffic all at once. It required 100% of your conscious focus, and it was exhausting. What was happening physically is that your brain was building a new neural pathway. As you see here, every time you repeated the physical action of checking a mirror or pressing the brake, two microscopic data nodes in your brain reached toward each other to form a fragile new connection. And as you kept practicing, that thin connection rapidly thickened into a heavy, unbreakable pipeline pulsing with high-speed energy. The physical pathway became so strong that the brain fully automated the driving process, allowing your conscious mind to zone out completely on your commute. This biological automation is an evolutionary marvel. It allows us to navigate a wildly complex world by taking terrifying new skills and turning them into effortless background noise. But there is a massive vulnerability in this system. Your subconscious mind has zero moral judgment. It completely lacks context. It doesn't know the difference between learning a valuable skill and developing a destructive compulsion. The brain will strengthen the neural pathways of a bad habit, like mindlessly refreshing your social media feed in a dark room, with the exact same efficiency that it learns to drive a car. This is exactly why trying to fight these automated routines with sheer willpower almost always ends in failure. You are asking your tiny, easily exhausted conscious mind to fight a prolonged war against an entrenched 90% majority. Because this biological system blindly automates whatever actions we repeat, we are often actively building the bars to our own invisible cages without ever realizing it. To permanently change your reality, you have to abandon the strategy of brute force willpower. Instead, you need to systematically rewrite the subconscious code. The first step is awareness. You must train yourself to catch the automatic response the exact moment it triggers, and simply pause. By inserting a brief moment of hesitation between a trigger and your reaction, you interrupt the autopilot sequence. The second step is visualization. When you mentally rehearse a desired action, as shown in this split-screen schematic, you are physically priming your brain's neural networks before you ever make a real-world movement. The brain begins firing those new pathways just from your focused thought. The final step is consistent practice. You have to hijack the brain's own biological rulebook. By forcing yourself to repeat the new positive action over and over, you literally overwrite the old physical pathways. This process of overwriting takes time. You are structurally changing your brain, and that requires you to shift your focus away from demanding immediate perfection and toward maintaining daily persistence. Self-transformation relies on the disciplined, intentional application of these biological rules. Over time, the results of this neural reprogramming compound. Those deliberate, difficult choices you forced yourself to make
gradually transition into effortless new defaults. This consistency yields tangible shifts. The mental friction of starting a task disappears. Negative feedback loops lose their triggers, and productive behaviors begin to feel like the path of least resistance. It all comes down to a central paradox of human behavior. Your subconscious mind is the machine that shapes your entire life, but your conscious mind holds the power to program the machine. Taking control of this hidden programming allows you to stop fighting against your own biology and start using it to move toward your goals.